Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be how to successfully attract women. I've got a real short email here from a guy who basically he met a gal that he liked, and it was obvious she liked him, but after a very short period of time, she blew him off and then later apologized for leading him on, and he's left scratching his head wondering, what the hell happened? We were making out, I thought she was really into me, and now she just wants to be my friend? And so there's some really subtle things that you have to understand as a man when you interact with a woman. Now women, when it comes to courtship and dating, they just want to show up and look good and give you some indications that they're interested because they want you to take the direction in the relationship. They want you to ask for the phone number. They want you to ask them out on a definite date. They want you to take the time, do some research, and figure out where you're going to take her on the date. Why? Because she's focused on getting ready and looking good for you, trying on 5 or 6 different dresses, messing with her makeup, going to the hair salon for 2 hours. She just wants to show up and have a good time, be entertained, be able to show up, have fun, to laugh, hang with a guy who's sincerely interested in who she is as a woman and not a guy who's just only interested in getting in her pants. And you communicate that interest by simply asking questions. Where'd you grow up? Where'd you go to school? What do you do for a living? Those kinds of things. And when she responds, you say things like, really? Wow, that's fascinating. That's really cool. Maybe you relate something that you've done in the past that's related to that, maybe because you have a similar interest. But it doesn't mean that you start changing your opinion to match hers or things of that nature. It's a lot of guys, if you watch this in the interactions between men and women like I do all the time when I'm out in public, or if I happen to go out and have some drinks with some friends or something like that, I'm always observing and watching around because it always cracks me up because I can overhear what guys are saying and what the girls are saying, and you can see the confidence or lack of confidence in people's physiology and just watch them interact. It's a great learning experience, and me, based for what I do, it's a great research tool. Just because I enjoy observing people doing what they do, and a lot of times the biggest mistakes guys get. Here's the bottom line: if you approach a woman and you start talking to her, she's pretty sure that the reason you approached her is because you like her. But if you stand there and you go on for 10 minutes and you start talking about yourself and your accomplishments and this and that, without actually getting to the point, getting her phone number, making a date, and then moving on with your life, she's gonna know that you're there talking to her because you like her. But when she can see that you're beating around the bush and you act kind of nervous, there's some awkward moments in there like you don't know what to say or how to keep the conversation going, and she could tell you're all in your head and thinking about what you should be saying or should not be saying instead of just being there in the moment and just letting things flow. The idea is you want to show up and act like any other person that she knows she's known forever. And how would you do that? I was talking to one of my clients earlier today, and he happened to go, he was standing in line at this restaurant, and I guess there was like a buffet or something there, and there was these 2 attractive girls that were at the salad bar or whatever, and he made a comment. He's like, wow, that looks really healthy, what you girls are eating. And, they're filling their plates up with stuff, and one of them said, she said, yeah, we're eating rabbit food today. And, he joked around, and he laughed, with him a couple times, and then he went back to ordering his food or whatever. And then when he went to sit down, they ended up sitting near where he was, and he said, hey, why don't you pull your table over and your chairs over and we'll sit and eat together. That's something that you would say to somebody that you've known forever, that you're friends with, or maybe you just ran into them and you hadn't seen them in a while so you wanted to catch up. He's doing what he always does now, because wherever he goes, he strikes up conversations with anybody. And since he's learning the stuff that I teach, he's sitting there going through the repetition, because repetition is the mother of skill. So even though these girls might not be exactly what he wants, he's going to sit there and chat and flirt and see how well the stuff that I teach works. so he can get himself prepared for that supermodel when she comes along into his life, and he can be ready for her. And he builds his confidence by interacting with women like this and getting confidence by using what I teach and seeing, wow, this shit really fucking works. And so when one of the girls went to the bathroom, the other girl that was still sitting there, she said, oh, I got to set you up, my friend. She's perfect for you. I mean, think about that. He's talking to her for maybe 45 seconds, and she's already saying, I got to set you up. So he's already pre-qualified. He's in. And if she says, oh, she's like, are you single? I mean, she's working to facilitate something happen there between the two of them. And that's what you want. Why did that happen? It's because he sat down and he was shooting the shit. He's confident. He strikes up a conversation, whether she's a cute girl or some ugly old guy with a big giant nose with a huge wart and a ton of black hair growing out of it. He treats everybody the same. And so whether they're old people or mediocre attractive women or a supermodel, you treat everybody the same. You're kind, you're friendly, and you get to the point when they like you. So I'm going to read it. It's a real short email, but he brings up some good things. He says, hi, Corey. I have been friends with this girl for a few months. I could tell she was into me, so I gave her a card and a heart-shaped box of chocolates on Valentine's Day. That's really weak. You're basically communicating, I don't have the confidence to ask you out, but here's some chocolates and here's a card. Like you're waiting for her to take the next step and say what comes next, where you're the man. You're the one with the penis. You're the one that's supposed to ask her what to do. Would you like to have dinner with me tomorrow night? Or hey, give me your... I got to run, but I'd love to talk to you. I love your eyes. You seem like such a charming girl. What's your number? And you got your phone out. You're looking down at it. You're pulling your menu up. You're ready to start typing it in. Why? Because this is what always happens when you ask women for your... They always give it to you. And so you just naturally go right to what always happens. There's no doubt in your mind. I mean, that's how you want to handle it. So he says, we made out a couple of times. She fell asleep on me after a party in her bed. And then a week went by with literally no communication. And then he says, I asked what she wanted, and then she apologized for leading me on. And so that tells me that you're basically waiting on this woman to make the move, where you're the man. You're the one that's supposed to take care of these things. Like I said before, women want to just show up and have a good time. They want you to handle the details and be direct. And when you beat around the bush or you express your feelings or your interest in a box of chocolates, it communicates, I don't know what I'm doing. And so she may have really liked you and found you attractive, and that's why she made out with you. But the more she hung out with you and interacted with you and talked to you, the more she could tell that you didn't know what the hell you were doing and you were totally unprepared, and that obviously more than likely you're not very successful with other women just because of how you've shown up in this interaction with her. And it's just basically what you should have done. He says, did I move things too slowly? And then he also says, what happened to her? Why did her feelings dissipate so fast? It's because right away you communicated weakness. You communicated that you didn't know what to do. The first time you met her, you should arrange a date right there on the spot if you knew she liked you. But instead, you beat around the bush, and these are the things that guys do that are insecure and don't have any confidence, or the guys that turn into stalkers, or the guys that once they get rejected, they keep calling no matter how many times she says no, because that's what they saw in the movies, and they just figure, oh, I just got to be persistent enough, and eventually she'll throw in the towel. When in reality, what's happened is you're basically showing up acting like the woman is supposed to act, and expecting her to act like a man. Again, this is the type of shit you see on TV and in the movies. It's a false archetype. It doesn't work in the real life. What happens in the media is they teach men to act like women, and they teach women to act like men. And when people do that, they take on a false mask, and they're not authentic with who they really are, and it destroys the sexual polarity. And then what happens is just nothing happens. Something to think about. So if you appreciate the value of the information in this message, you can show your appreciation if you're watching this video on my website by going down to the Wibbia toolbar, which is at the bottom of your screen. Click the PayPal donate button and donate any amount that you feel is equal to the value of the information in my video. At the very least, please share this page with all of your friends and family by clicking any one of the social network sharing buttons, which are also located on the Wibbia toolbar. And if you have a question that you want to ask me or a topic that you'd like me to cover in a future video newsletter, click the Contact Me tab, which is on the left-hand side of your screen, and send me 3 or 4 paragraphs max detailing your situation or your challenge. And give me several days to get back to you because I get a lot of email from the internet, and I also get a lot of email from my paying phone coaching customers, and I obviously have to focus on them first because they're paying me. But be patient. I will get back to you. And if you'd like to talk to me right away, you can book a paid phone coaching session by clicking the Products tab at the top of your screen and follow the instructions. And I will talk to you soon.